Hey guys, so today Minecraft Pocket Edition 0.16.0 was released for Android, Windows Phone, and Windows 10. Now, it hasn't been released on iOS just because it had an issue with the submission, and it does take a little bit longer now for whatever reason, so it should be out on Tuesday or before Tuesday, hopefully here pretty soon. So, Tommaso actually has a poll going on his Twitter right now asking whether or not people like the idea of the Android versions and whatnot coming out sooner than the iOS versions, just because Apple has their policy where they have to review stuff, and it does take quite a bit longer. They have to review every single update, so they would all be submitted at the same time. But if people like the idea of the other ones coming out sooner, then they wouldn't do like a rollout date where it just waits for the iOS version. It would just, once Google or Microsoft or whoever approves the update, it would just be out like that. Google only takes a couple of hours. Apple takes forever. So I'm going to be voting in that as well. I'll have a link for that down in the description. My personal opinion is that they should just allow the Android and Windows editions to just come out earlier, because Apple's policy is to just take forever to review, so their users are just going to have to deal with it. It's not a big deal. I don't think they need to make other people wait. So anyways, let's get into this update and go over some of the things. You can see I am on Windows 10 Edition. Just because I couldn't record my screen on Pocket Edition, I had some problems with that. So this update really, on Windows 10 Edition and on Pocket Edition, it's really just the same thing, with a couple of differences that I will be covering because I have gotten a chance to use both versions and just come up with some of the things I like and some of the problems I've run into. So let's get right into it. Let's go over the main menu. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this just because I've already made a video on the main menu. But for those of you who haven't seen that video, I'm just going to do a quick run through on the menu right here. So let's go to the settings menu to start off. You can see this is organized really well, and I like how they organize this. You have your control options right up here. You can scroll through and redo those. You can also do that on Pocket Edition if you have a keyboard or mouse, or keyboard and mouse, or a controller hooked up to your device. You can change those options right there. But of course, on the mobile version, your default is touch controls right here. So down here we have a couple different options. You have your global resources, which is resource packs. Global resources, the reason I call it that is because once you change it here, once you change your resource pack from this menu, that will apply to all of your worlds. With add-ons or behavior packs, as they're calling them, I'll get into that here in a little bit. You can change those on a per world basis, so I'll show you what I mean here when I go start a new world. You have your profile here. I'm not signed into Xbox Live. If you want to play on cellular data on multiplayer, just turn that on right there. Not sure why that's even on this version, because I don't think there's a way to use cell data on Windows 10, but okay. Video. This is where I have problems with the menu, just because there's an unneeded feature right here, at least on Pocket Edition. I can see this being a thing on Windows 10 Edition like it is, but on Pocket Edition, it's just this advanced video settings is not necessary, so let's go ahead and open that up. And you can see on Windows 10 Edition there are some more advanced options like anti-aliasing, particle render distance, texel anti-aliasing, that kind of stuff. But on Pocket Edition, you only have your field of view, render distance, and limit world size. So field of view and render distance are not advanced whatsoever. That's been a part of Minecraft since, the original PC version. Being able to change that, of course, with your lower render distance, that favors performance. Your high render distance just favors looks. So not really sure why they added this for Pocket Edition. And this right here, your camera perspective drop down, that's also really stupid. I liked the way they did this before, where you had a slider. So the first slider was first person, then it was third person back, and then third person front. That was the best way to do it. I liked that. Now they changed it to this, where you click on it and you get a drop down that doesn't even show you the third option. When you can't even click the third option on Pocket Edition unless you scroll down. On this one I can, just because I have the mouse. It's way more accurate. I can click that and change it there. All it is just an unnecessary step, and not to mention, I'll get into this more a little bit later, but the menu on Pocket Edition is far more clunky than the old version or the menu is on Windows 10 Edition, but I will talk about that more in a little bit. So we have your language options, which had its own menu before, but has been added to the settings menu, which makes sense. Your audio settings right there. And yeah, it's much more organized than before, and I think they're heading in the right direction, but there is some work to be done. But like I said, I'll get more into that later. You have your skins menu right here. I have the default Steve skin. because I'm not on my account. I'm not signed in. You can spin them around rather slowly. Your store right here, you can buy texture packs and skin packs, realms, that kind of stuff. Achievements, you have to be signed in to Xbox Live for that. And here we have our our world selection menu. So you can go to realms here, you can add friends and stuff and play with them on Xbox Live there. All of this is the same on Pocket Edition as it is on Windows 10. So let's go ahead and create a new world and just try some of these things out. So let's change it to creative, and then, like I said, unneeded. Like, it's so much easier to use those sliders. I think it was a far better way. I mean, maybe on Windows 10 edition it's better to have the drop down when you're using the mouse, I will say that, but on the mobile version when you're using the touchscreen, I just don't understand why they have to do these drop downs, because it's just unnecessary in my opinion. Cheats, always day, we'll make sure those are on. Infinite world type, you have your multiplayer options right here. You're going to leave those all enabled. And then over here we have the resource packs and behavior packs. So that right there, your resource packs, that right there, your behavior packs. So these are more like, your behavior packs are more like mods. They're called add-ons. This is for adding, new stuff to the game, just like you can do with mod scripts, but it is 100% supported in this version. So that's how you do that, and it's all a per world basis. So you can have mods on this world, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have it on another world, which is really helpful for a few reasons. One, if you want a world that's completely, the vanilla Minecraft without anything done to it, you can have that. And also for multiplayer, you can't have these enabled on multiplayer, which is great, because you can't even accidentally have these enabled on multiplayer, because I've done that before, not just with Minecraft but with other games, where I have like mods and stuff enabled, but then I go to play multiplayer and I forget that they're there, and then I get banned or something like that because mods are enabled, but I just completely forgot about it. So I like the way they did that, having it on a per world basis. And you can also have a per world texture pack as well, and that's more for, like, if you have a behavior pack that has a texture pack that goes along with it, you can enable these both at the same time. Or even if you have a world, like let's say you're making a castle or something and you want a specific texture pack that goes with it, you can enable that for that specific world as well. So that's really cool. Got all this stuff here, so that's it. Let's go ahead and create this world and try a few of these things out. So here we are, we're in the game. One of the differences from Windows 10 edition and Pocket edition is the fact that that menu is more like the PC version, where on Pocket edition it's just the same old menu that you've been used to for a while. One thing that they added to this version that they didn't add to Pocket edition is the ability to search your creative inventory. Why they didn't add this to Pocket edition is beyond me. It's something they definitely should have added, and they didn't. And there was, when I was trying to record my screen here and do this video on my phone, I was looking for an item and I tried to search for it, but there's no search feature, so I just spent forever looking for it. So yeah, you have your beacon here. We'll just put that in. The wet sponge, that's been added. There it is, wet sponge. What else has been added? I think prismarine. Let's try that. Prismarine, there we go. A couple items that go with that as well. So you can see we have these features here. You got your beacon, wet sponge, prismarine. Now, one thing I noticed with the beacon, this is really nitpicking, it's not something I'm actually like concerned about, but one thing I noticed is that it almost looks like out of place. Now in Windows 10 edition I can say that it does look quite a bit better, but on Pocket edition it seems like it's just a lot brighter, and it almost seems like it's out of place. And what I thought it looked like, and I was talking about when I was recording my video that never actually worked, I was thinking that it looked almost like it was modded into the game, because you know how when they add, like, there was redstone mods and stuff where they would add stuff over from the PC version in the form of a mod, it would just look kind of out of place. It would look kind of weird because it's a mod and it's not 100% official. That's kind of what the beacon looks like on Pocket edition, at least to me. It just looks kind of weird. It's not so bad on here. But yeah, I just noticed that. It's just a nitpicking thing, really. It's not a big deal whatsoever. There's definitely a lot bigger things to worry about. So let's get back into the menu that I was talking about. So first off, First off, we have the pause menu right here. You can see you have your big Windows 10 Edition logo, or on Pocket Edition, of course, it's the Pocket Edition logo. On the right, you have your current players on the server, as well as your local IP address. And then you have your buttons right here, your achievements, settings, resume, and save and quit. So I do like this a lot. I think it's a much better pause menu, a lot more professional looking in my opinion. Settings, really the same stuff. So there's just some things you can't change because you're in-game, like resource packs and behavior packs can't be changed. Your video options can still be changed. But again, you have to go down here, do this. If you want to change your render distance, just weird. But yeah, let's turn all this up and just see what we get. Okay. So getting back to the clunky menu, what I noticed on Pocket Edition is that it's kind of glitchy and it's really laggy. The frame rate on your main menu, at least in my testing, has been just the frame rate's been lower in the menu than it's been on the actual game, and it's a weird thing. And in game, it's even worse than in the main menu. But just going through these menus, it's just on the phone, it's laggy. As you're scrolling, it's really easy to bump other things and have it open the wrong thing, or have all these buttons like light up as your fingers just dragging over them. Just weird. It's not polished and finished like a lot of the things we see in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Usually the developers have enough time and they do a really good job of testing this stuff out and making sure it works properly, but I just am not seeing it with this main menu. And of course it can always get better, and I do favor this menu over the old menu, but it is just laggy, it's weird. And that's testing on a Nexus 7 2013 and a Galaxy Note 4, which neither phones are slouches. Both, when they were released, were considered high-end devices, and the Note 4 is still considered a high-end device that has no problem playing the game, but the menu is just laggy and it's really weird. And it makes something like this right here extra painful just because trying to get through it is just bad. It does not work the way it should. And it definitely needs some reworking. And I did not notice that at all when I was testing it in the beta version. Now I'm noticing it, and it is kind of a problem. So let's get back into the game. Again, I think it's something that'll easily be fixed in the future, but as it is right now, it is kind of annoying, and it is definitely something that needs to be reworked. So let's go ahead and try out some of the new commands. Yes, commands have been added. It is about time. They have like the background support for commands. They've had it there for quite some time, but it just never really came up. So on Windows 10 Edition, it's just like PC. You hit the slash, and then it opens up the menu here. So you have your help menu. You can do slash question mark, and then there's different pages. You can do like slash question mark 2 for page 2, or you can do slash help page 2 or page 3 all the way up to page 6. Custom commands can be added as well through add-ons, which is nice, something that we've seen for quite a while using mod scripts, but now it is an officially supported thing, which is great. So let's try some of these out. You can do your game mode. So I'm game mode 1, I think. So let's go game mode 0. Now I'm in survival mode, as you can see. Get back in game mode 1. So I'll have a link down below to the changelog that has all of the commands. It shows every single one of them. They're very familiar from the PC version, as you might expect, but what it allows you to do is click on all of these and just read about what it does and how to use it. Here's another one, toggle downfall. I do really like how it shows like the mods that you're typing as you're typing them. I think that's really helpful, and it's a really good way to do that. It's something that's not even on the PC version, so I do like that a lot. I think it's definitely really useful. Also good for not putting in typos. So some of them have aliases, like you can see there's slash question mark and slash help. If you want to message somebody on the server, you can do slash tell and then put in their username. You can see recipient and then message. Do slash tell. You can also do slash message or MSG or slash W for whisper. All of them do the exact same thing. It doesn't really matter what you type. It's just about what you prefer. So that's really cool. It's really good to see that they finally added commands. I'm going to turn downfall off. Let's see if I can. Whoops. Nope. Nope. I screwed that up. All right. There we go. Now we're good. So yeah. Really good to see that we finally got commands and that there is the ability to add new ones in the built-in add-ons. Also, we have world generation, the newly added world generation. We have ocean monuments, which is great. New blocks, I covered a couple of them. We have the Sea Lantern, Prismarine, like I got here, the Wet Sponge, and Beacons, as well as some new items that we also saw in the video already. We have Prismarine Crystals, Prismarine Shards, Guardian Spawn Eggs, Elder Guardian Spawn Eggs, and the Nether Star. So all that cool stuff, as well as a couple of new mobs and new mob features. So this one's pretty cool. Let's see if we can spawn something in here. We got the Wither Spawn Egg. Oh, that's just a Wither Skeleton. Okay, that's okay. There we go. So what's really cool with the Wither, which has been added, the Wither allows, once you get down to the 50% health mark on the Wither, it'll actually spawn 3 to 4 of these as you continue to fight it, which is pretty cool. Adds just an extra level of difficulty, and it's something that's only been added in Pocket Edition and Windows 10 Edition. It's not something that's in PC version, but I can actually see this moving over to PC because it is really pretty cool. So also with the Wither, a couple more version exclusive features here. There's a new animation when it's created and killed, as well as new sounds for it as well. So that's really cool. We also have the Guardian, the Elder Guardian, and that's it. So pretty cool stuff there. That's why they call this the boss update. They did add some of those new things there for extra difficulty and just more fun. So have a few changes as well. They of course improved performance. Oh, so they say in the changelog. I don't really see the performance improvements. I mean, on Windows 10 Edition, it doesn't really matter. The performance is just fine as it is. Let's see if I got my menu here. Nope, never mind. Okay. Performance is just fine on Windows 10 Edition, but for Pocket Edition, the performance, I think it's worse than 0.15, and the argument, of course, could be made that, you know, the performance is worse just because 0.16 is a more complex update. There's more stuff to it. But I also noticed when opening up the game and going back to the main menu, and this also applies to Windows 10 Edition, I can do that here in a sec. Going back to the main menu and just opening the game are a lot slower. You can see here it's just taking forever to get back to the main menu, and it's even worse on Pocket Edition. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but performance improvements, not really seeing that, but I can see like 0.16.1 coming out that resolves some of these issues. So also, when you're applying a resource pack, it does take a little bit longer to open as well, which is nothing new. That's how it was in the beta. But even with default textures, it does take quite a bit of time to open. And I even had one time where it popped up and told me that the game completely quit responding, although it did eventually open up and I didn't have to close out of it. So just a weird thing right there. It also increased, for Windows 10 Edition, they increased the maximum view distance for capable GPUs. So you can see I can go all the way up to 22, something that you cannot do in Pocket Edition. It's because 22 is quite a ways, and it would probably just lag about any device it's on, where on Windows 10 Edition, it's just, you know, PCs are, of course, more powerful and are just able to handle that. So, they also tweaked some of the items here, so buckets have a new sound when you're using them. Let's see if we can, whoops. I feel like, I always think I'm like in that text box, even when I'm not. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I can hear it. Let's see if I can turn that up. I don't know if that can be heard in the video, but yeah, it is different. Kind of a weird sound, really. Now I'm like blanking on what the old sound is, but this is kind of a weird sound. I don't know what I don't know what I think of that. Let's see if lava sounds different. Okay, the lava sound is pretty cool. I do like the lava sound. So yeah, there's that. Maps have a version exclusive feature, which is pretty cool. They have different colors for different biomes, which is really neat. Again, something that'll probably get moved over to the PC version at some point, but it is a cool version exclusive feature, and you can tell with every single update we get more and more version exclusive features, which is cool and all, because before, you know, we didn't really have anything version exclusive on Pocket Edition, but people did complain about that, and eventually we started to see more version exclusive features. So look at that. The grass path, they added a sound when you're placing it. With the camera, they removed it completely, and now it's exclusive to Education Edition. Cocoa beans no longer have a crafting recipe either, so that's kind of weird. Let's see, blocks, the different block changes. I'm gonna kill this guy really quick. I'm gonna push him back to the lava. Let's see here. Nope, he's not dying. Okay, that's okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, that tree's dying, that's for sure. Okay, so the sponge, they re-added it to survival mode. It can now absorb water, as you might expect, and it also uses the 1.8 PC texture. So there it is. I can pull out the regular sponge, which would just be a lighter texture because it's not wet. And I just, wait, did I get it? Okay, yeah, I got it, okay. Just like that. So that's your sponge, and it can absorb water just like it's always been intended to do. Beds also have a new sound when you place them, so again, not sure if you're going to be able to hear this, but I'm going to go for it anyways. Let's see what happens. I'm hearing a sound, but I always thought that was there anyways. It doesn't sound, this sounds like you're placing a regular block down, nothing special, I guess. I was expecting something cooler for whatever reason. The chest, the custom name, no longer appears in the GUI, and the furnace has a better description for devices that do not use a controller. So pretty cool stuff there. That is the 0.16 update. Again, if you want to see the entire changelog, the link is in the description, but pretty cool update, adding something like commands, which is huge, as well as behavior and resource packs. That's going to be a huge thing, and I will be doing videos on that, as well as adding support for it and mod locator for MCPE. So stay tuned to this channel for some more features. I'll do tutorials and stuff. I'll do a bunch of different things covering resource packs and behavior packs. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I want to see what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. What is your favorite feature in 0.16? I have a feeling I know a lot of you are going to say something like add-ons, but I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.